the female Buddhas. Did you know that there are female Buddhas? Did you know that? You know, we're all familiar with the Buddha. First of all, did you even know there's more than one Buddha? Okay. We are all familiar with the Buddha of our epoch. What's his name? Siddhartha Gautama, right? We're all familiar with Siddhartha, the Buddha, but he is the Buddha of our epoch, of our era. But there were other Buddhas in the past. And little did I know there were female Buddhas, y'all. Did you know that? And it's so interesting because this creator, she breaks down the difference between female Buddhas versus male Buddhas. And it is fascinating. And basically, you know, through the masculine path, the male Buddhas, right, we learn to rise above our suffering by following the path of renunciation, right? Letting everything go, right? Siddhartha, he gave up his life as a prince to go be an ascetic in the woods and to live in nature and to beg for food, right? That was the path towards enlightenment through the male path, right? Through the male Buddha. But interestingly enough, the female Buddhas, their path to enlightenment, many of them was different. And they took the path of transformation, which is considered to be a more feminine way of transcending the roots of your emotions and your suffering. And this path, instead of you know, I don't want to say ignoring, but that's the best word that's coming to mind right now. Instead of ignoring your feelings, because that is essentially what the masculine path of Buddhism, the path of the Buddha Siddhartha that we are all familiar with, that is, you know, how he achieved enlightenment, and how they teach achieving enlightenment is by, you know, ignoring your feelings, rising above your feelings, ignoring them, and not being reactive to your feelings, and to renounce worldly things, and eventually you will reach enlightenment. However, the female way of the female path that these female Buddhas took was not renouncing your feelings, renouncing the world, but actually acknowledging your emotions, your traumas, and your suffering, and having wisdom and compassion for them. Okay. Not judging yourself because you can't just let go of those negative feelings, right? And those negative thoughts, right? To have wisdom and compassion for them, which allows them to transform within yourself. Ain't that something? So instead of avoiding feelings, instead of avoiding things that trigger us, it's instead of avoiding the female Buddhas and the female or feminine path to enlightenment in Buddhism is to go through the emotions, to feel the emotions. I mean, don't this speak to you, ladies? Don't this speak to you? It's to feel the emotions and in doing so and having compassion for the emotions and having compassion for yourself and wisdom for yourself with regard to those emotions to transmute those emotions into the path towards enlightenment. Isn't that something else? And if you want to look up some of these female Buddhas, Artun Toyin, she listed 3: Kuan Yin, Green Tara, and Matsu. Matsu spelled M-A-Z-U, Kuan Yin, K-U-A-N, and Yin, Y-N, and Green Tara. These are 3 female Buddhas. If you want to do some research and look into them, look them up. And I think this is so powerful, and it speaks to like what we're talking about here in terms of, you know, all of these religious texts. Who were the intended audience of these religious texts? Was it women, or was it males speaking to other males and guiding other males? And if so, should we as women be following these paths, or should we as women be following different paths? For example, like the path of the female Buddhas.